Yes, I'm Chaplain Major General Doug Carver, United States Army retired. You know, when I assumed duties as the Chief of Chaplains for the United States Army, the senior pastor, if you will, for the Army, that's 1.2 million soldiers, I had the responsibility to ensure that all of our 1.2 million soldiers had the freedom to exercise their religious beliefs and practices, regardless of what that might be. One of the things that I remember having served in the military was the importance of faith in the lives of our soldiers, our service members, and their families. Regardless of their upbringing, faith became very, very important to them simply by the very nature that they're dealing with life and death issues. Military training is very challenging and difficult. It's dangerous when you're jumping out of planes or you're moving around large, heavy objects like Bradley tanks. I first became engaged with the Sikh community in 2009, 2010, as the military was looking at making exceptions to policy for 2 or 3 Sikh officers. One was a doctor and one was a dentist, who had both served in combat, and they had distinguished records, had even come back, I believe, with even Bronze Stars. And they had certainly done a stellar job, and they were asking for accommodation for their hair and for their turbans. These Sikh soldiers, they were practicing their faith as hard as I was practicing my Protestant faith. And that's what I noticed, that this was a legitimate request from individuals who said, this is who I am. I am a soldier who happens to be a Sikh, and I would like to continue to honor my faith while I serve in the military. And that's what really persuaded me that we needed to look at this. I think the primary reason that the Army accommodated those religious beliefs, first of all, we needed their skill sets in an Army that was at war, and we had a shortage in the area of some of our medical community and also in some of our interpreters. So it was actually a military combat need that really brought the discussion to surface. And also those individuals had shown themselves to be great soldiers, highly respected by their chain of command and by their soldiers. And other than the fact that they looked different from their religious facial hair and their religious artifacts, they were stellar soldiers. You know, before the Army accommodated the 2 Sikh officers, obviously they went through a series of military training to ensure that these items would not interfere with them and their combat readiness on the field. And as they passed those combat readiness training exercises, it was validated that the fact that they look a little different and their appearance does not impact their combat readiness as a soldier on the battlefield. And their accommodation actually opened the door for some of our Orthodox rabbis who at the same time were requesting to maintain their facial hair in accordance with their religious beliefs. As a Southern Baptist, when I reach out to ensure that a Roman Catholic's beliefs are honored and allowed, I'm also protecting my own religious beliefs as well as our Jewish soldiers, our Orthodox soldiers, our Hindi soldiers, our Sikh soldiers. In this whole area of religious diversity, as something new comes on the scene, we need to be willing, mature enough, and educate ourselves on, well, why can't it work? Instead of saying, no, this is something we haven't done before. Like with the Sikhs for 30 years, we didn't have the discussion. I think we need to ask more questions like, why not? And how can we use, how can we change our policy to accommodate those who have all of the other faculties to be outstanding and perhaps some of the best soldiers that we can recruit and retain.